Hello fellow reefers, this is Sean from Sean's Fish Tanks. I told you I was getting back into the hobby, and I set up this reef tank. I had a part 1 and part 2 to start this off. I'm going on the 3rd week, and I have done no water changes except for the initial maybe 50 gallons of water that I added to my old system's water. Now originally I had set up the light. I had a light right there. My T5 lighting was raised above, and I've kind of jimmied it lower now, so I've got a little bit more T5 lighting and everything. Now this update is just to tell you a little bit of progression. Everything is growing. I had to dip a few pieces from the initial change. I was worried that I might have some pests, so I dipped them, and one of them didn't recover all that well. I kind of did a harsh dip. I did a potassium dip, iodine, and it was a little harsh. My Monties recovered from it. They are actually growing back, and they look like whatever was bothering them is gone. But my Acropora, I had one piece of Acropora that was, I think I showed you guys, it was receding a little bit, a little STN. I dipped it, and it is not doing so well. But they tend not to in potassium dip. I just didn't want to take any chances, and I wanted to get everything that was on it off. I was a little worried about it being Montipora eating nudibranchs, but and the SBS was just a casualty of it. It wasn't something I planned to dip. I just thought maybe I could cut it, and I wasn't thinking, I guess. But either way, I'll get another one of those from my buddy there. Anyways, last week I spoke to you guys 3 weeks ago about some pieces that I had gotten from a friend of mine, and his company's name is Sea Gardens. I'm going to be trying to do some business with him. We may merge, I'm not really sure, but I'm going to be selling some corals on eBay from him and through me, and the combination of the both of us. It's going to take a few weeks to get it up and running, but when it's up and running, I'll let you guys know. But either way, you know, he has like a fish tank store inside of his house, and we've been growing corals together for a long time, and he has tons of colonies from my original systems, and so we're going to work together at it and see how things go. But I wanted to give you guys this update, especially because of the H360, H380 that I told you about, that I was going to purchased that I put down here underneath the sump, in the sump area, and I had to do some work on it today. Oh, I didn't have to, but I had a lot of nuisance algae growing down here, and I'm just going to bring it down here to show you. And I had to clean it all out. Now, the rolling ball H380 is actually rolling very well now. Last time I didn't get to show you that, but I had nuisance algae grow everywhere. And it still is growing everywhere, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was, and things are rolling along pretty good. The H380 ball has grown. This light has kept my pH higher. I've tested the pH, and it's around 8.2, and that's pretty good. I wanted to have my skimmer before my refugium so that any air that's sucked in through the skimmer would not affect the refugium. I wanted the refugium's air that's built from CO2, you know, the oxygen exchange from the growth, to go up into the display. So I want to do the reverse of what people are building in their building for refugiums nowadays. I believe the skimmer should always be first, and then the refugium. Anyways, I would say it's a humongous success, because even if I'm growing nuisance algae down in the sump, I'm not growing it up top, and that's exactly what I wanted. Up top, and I kid you not, it's been a humongous success. This is probably my cleanest reef tank I've had. The sand is white, the rock is white. I clean the glass maybe once a week. I'm getting like a little bit of nuisance hair or brown algae growing, but it's very, very slow. I don't even have to clean the glass barely. The rocks are staying white, the corals are growing. I got polyp extension. You know, the color isn't the greatest on this tank. For some reason I get a lot of blue And right now it's a pretty white spectrum. It may be because of my T5 lighting's a little powerful, but you can see I'm going to zoom in on this purple Stylophora, and I mean this thing is just nothing but fuzziness. There's less flow right now because I'm doing, when I cleaned out the sump, I had to do some maintenance, and doing the maintenance, hold on one second. Doing the maintenance, I had a lot of stuff floating around, so I had to put a filter sock on the return because I don't have a filter sock downstairs, down in the sump. So I have to put it up on the return up here, which you can see in this corner. And I'm just trying to catch any debris for about an hour or so, and then I'm going to remove it. But I wanted to show you some of these pieces if you could see the white tips growing on them. Try to zoom in a little closer. But this is a pink bird's nest, and this thing has got white tips everywhere on it. Matter of fact, some of them are splitting. This is a white coral. I don't know if you could tell it right there, but that's actually a what is it? A tricolor, and it's growing. It's just remaining white because it's growing. And I've got a piece of Certosa up here that's just branching out. There's polyps all over it. It looks fantastic. And let me see. This bird's nest right up front here. I mean, it's got some pieces that are branching out. You can see the polyps look really good on it. Everything looks fine. Let's see if I got any other pieces I can show you real quick. Not so much SBS or bird's nest, but I got a chalice down here that looks really good. This was from my buddy at Sea Gardens. Some of these bird's nests that I show you are from him too. There's also a pink lemonade I have up here. Let me see if I can find it. My zoas look fantastic. They're growing awesome. But there's a pink lemonade right next to this Certosa, and that's right there. Now I'm going to try to freeze frame it a little bit. Maybe you can see there's polyps moving around on it. Oh, I see it. Yeah, there is, so you can actually see it. So this coral looks really, really good, and that's what's promising to me because it's a pink lemonade. The coral in the back is the one that I dipped, and it's completely dead. I'm just gonna have to get it out of there. I do have one piece down here from it because I cut it up into pieces to stop the STN, and it's still a little green. We'll see what happens with that one. That might be dead too, though. But that's from me dipping. It's not from the tank. Everything else is growing fantastic. Let me just back off a little bit. So I'm going to be transferring some corals up for my buddy in Sea Gardens and getting some more pieces in here. I'm sending him some money for some of the pieces that he has and some of my old pieces, and I just want to get this this tank looking good again and get some really nice pieces going. But I did want to give you this update to let you know about the refugium light. Obviously, BRS did a big study on this thing, and they had humongous success with pH and everything. So I'm having the same success. I'm not getting anything growing up top. Mostly everything's growing down in the sump, and that's exactly what I want. My main focus of cleaning the water right now is just that. A little bit of carbon every so often, and then I take it out. So I do want to tell you about this update. We'll see if I get a ton of nuisance algae growing again, or if the chaeto takes off more. The nuisance algae was kind of taking over the chaeto. I had to remove bits and pieces of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to throw some clerkba in there, but then it's going to defeat the purpose of having like a rolling ball. But I'll let you guys know. I still haven't decided on that. I think I mentioned it last time. But either way, this is the update. It's 3 weeks in, 75 gallon. I'm not completely going Triton because I'm using carbon. I don't think they use carbon with Triton. I think you can actually, carbon and GFO. So it's kind of like Triton, but I don't have their supplements. I have other supplements that are very similar. So I've just been dosing those, and it's kind of the Triton method without going with the Triton and without going to tests. So it's semi-Triton. I'll say that much. I don't know if I'm going to actually go Triton. I kind of like working, figuring it out myself, testing, doing all the things I like to do. Not to mention price. So anyways, again, this is Sean from Sean's Fish Tanks, and I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks.